I'm going to be opening my lesson plan. On the other side, I open WhatsApp. And let me just go and find my group I just made yesterday. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to assume everybody's seeing what I'm seeing. You see two screens at the moment. So I've got my WhatsApp lesson here, my lesson plan, and I have got WhatsApp open. And here you will see the WhatsApp group I started with I just randomly picked some people. So there's Amarain, Anit, Edward, Indanania, Mel, and so on. You are in my group to try this lesson out live. So these people who are on this WhatsApp group, you will now participate in the lesson on your phones. The rest of the people are going to be watching and taking notes of this process. Okay, I'm going to continue unless someone stops me. All right, so first of all, for today's lesson, so what you do is you copy and paste into WhatsApp. So now I have copied and pasted into my group. So this I would normally do about an hour or in the morning before the lesson starts. I would post this to the learners. That this is what they had to do in the previous lesson. We did this during our lesson. So in the morning, I will remind them that this is what we did last time. Now, you don't actually have to do this homework. Just keep that in mind. Right. Then an hour before the time, I would post something like this. Would see an hour to go. I would possibly include a little GIF that says, hello. To remind them that we see each other in an hour's time. Then at the start of the lesson, I am then going to go across, say, hello, I'm ringing my school bell. And that then signals to the people in my class that the lesson is about to start. So for instance, let's say our lesson was meant to start at 9. I've rung the school bell and I have said, we're ready to start. And then I say, hello, everybody. Is everybody ready? And I put the little icons and say ready or not. So now I'm expecting my participants, my class, to indicate to me whether they're ready or not. While I'm waiting for that to happen, you see here the things are coming through. There's 3 people who's responded. Now I know I've got about 10, 11 in my group. So you have to kind of just gauge your responses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ready or not. Pen and paper ready. Amarain's ready. Then Ed was there. And if you can see most of your class have responded, then you carry on with the next. Then you start with your warmer. Now, before you do that, you're going to just welcome everybody. This would be stage 2. Good morning, everybody. This is Lizl. I'm your trainer. I'm so happy that you're here with me. And you will see that then it goes into there. They have the option to listen to it. So you don't have to, I just sped it up a little bit so that you can hear how it's going. Then let's carry on. Warmer. Knock, knock. I'm now expecting the learners to type back to me. Who's there? Broken pencil who? See, now you're waiting for their replies. And of course, you can see at the top of the screen, you could see people are typing. So then you know, okay, I'll wait a little bit. And there you put your answer. Never mind, it's pointless. You would notice the 3, 2, 1, go, and the little robot picture that indicates to the people they need to be ready to respond. And so here I've asked them a question at the same time. They have to rate how funny they thought it was. So by putting the correct emojis. And for those of you who are watching, do you see in the WhatsApp group, some of the writing is in bold. Now, if you look at my lesson plan, if you put a star before and after, it puts everything between the star in bold. And if you put a what you call it, the little bottom line before or after, then it puts it in italics. So what makes us laugh? I've just asked them. Didn't quite understand that they needed to ask. Jokes make us laugh. Yes, jokes makes us laugh. Funny things. Now you see on my lesson plan, there's a picture to remind me that at this stage now, I want to include a picture. Yeah. Right. Right. Then before we carry on, you have to do your rules. Okay, everybody, do you remember our class rules? Please come on time, speak when we ask you to, listen, share, draw, and do your homework. Now, Edward. Okay, so now I'm going to cut and paste the groups. Now, ideally, you would have done that before, but I wasn't sure who was going to pitch up at my group today. So I am just doing it as I'm speaking. Group A, Group B. So that's another thing. If you are doing like a roll call, then you can make sure the people you've put in groups are actually in your lesson today. Did I leave anyone out? Rita, I have put Rita in a group. Please join A. Okay. So group A, we've now joined A. Okay. Okay. Classroom rules. Revise that often, as you would see. We will now do group exercises. Everybody will write or record answers, but only the group I choose will post. Is that clear? Okay. Then we remind them that if they are not called on to answer, they make notes in their notebook. And at the end of the lesson, we ask for photos of the notebook. So this is what you would do to make sure nobody gets left behind or loses concentration, because they know they have to submit their notebooks at the end. First, let's do a review of our class. Oh, so I must record this. First, let's do a review of our classroom rules. Please look and put our classroom rules in order. Then you remind them that they must think about it, and then you're going to select which group has to do which rule number. Group A will do rule number 1. Okay. So now it might take a bit longer because you have to wait for them to respond. You can remind them what's going on. Why aren't you answering me? In the meantime, you could post, okay, group 2, number 1. And then you see, you click here and you say reply. And now you reply with maybe a some clapping hands. Not this one, this one. There we go. Well done, Anit. Now, at this stage, if you think your kids have forgotten which group they are, you could repost your group number. The group members. And you can see they're typing, so you know, okay, they're answering you, they're busy answering. You will see I'm not going to give them the answers until the end of the time. Speak when teacher asks a question. And so you can see I'm giving little praises as we go to encourage my learners to keep answering. Group B number 4, off you go. Because this is taking a bit slow, so I'm pushing the speed a bit so that, because this is just the warmer activity. And I'm seeing someone's typing, so I'm giving it a moment. And then just before I post that, I'm going to make a voice note. Well done, everybody, for trying. Number 1 says, please come to class on time. Number 2, only post when the teacher says 3, 2, 1, go. Be polite and kind to all classmates. Do all the homework. And write your answers in your notebooks to share. And then I type it and I've sent a voice note. So that's how you cover yourself. And yeah. You see the little underscore before and after. So now when I post it, it's going to be in italics. While I'm waiting for the answers, I'm posting the next thing so long. This is the homework page. Okay, thank you for completing your homework. And again, my class is not very big, so you'll see I only wait for about 3/4 of them to reply, and then I go on with the lesson. So here I'm posting a picture. I'm obviously going to give them a second to look at it. And then I'm going to say, okay, group C, look at the cartoon and say where the play on words are. Look at the cartoon and say, where is the play on words? And make sure when you post your voice notes that you don't cut yourself off at the end. So now we're waiting for the learners to answer. Group C, there's only 2 people in Group C, so I must just give them a moment. Absolutely, yes, Mel. I think she deserves a rainbow for answering the question. Okay. Group B. Tell us how funny you think this joke is. Okay, Rita says it's fairly funny. Mel thinks it's hilarious. And Sipa. And that group has 3 people, so there I think we can carry on. Group A, who's answering the door? And then ready, steady, go. You give them a moment just to think about it before you say go. Okay, maybe group A has forgotten who they are, so then I'm going to scroll back on my lesson plan and just post group A again. Now, generally, if you're working with the same group, you will probably, the kids will start to know which groups they are. So it won't be as confusing for them. Who's answering the door? Thermos. What does he look like? Why is he called Wimpy Kid? Now here I'm going to put a little picture of him. You would have noticed that I didn't give a specific group. Hello, who's talking to? Okay, Leah, thank you. Just mute. Just okay, trusting that's muted now. Just waiting for an answer or two. He looks unhappy. It's a cartoon. He looks wimpy. Absolutely, your answers are spot on. He looks weak or cowardly, a feeble person. For instance, wimpy can mean he's weak or cowardly. Then you saw on my lesson plan, we had, I didn't have it here. We try and copy it from here. Copy. Group A, who is the author? We are going to be looking at the diary of a wimpy kid today. Reply. Good job. Now you see on the lesson plan, it reminds me that now I have to record a voice note to go with these instructions. So welcome everybody to this lesson. In this lesson, we're going to be looking at the text, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, in more detail. Think about the key ideas in a text. Prepare to write a storyboard. Don't worry if you can't see, because I will be posting the text. So just a note for those who are watching. For me personally, I record my voice notes live because it's quite tricky to record it before the time and then copy it in. First of all, let me get something straight. This is a journal, not a diary. I know what it says on the cover, but when Mom went out to buy this thing, I specifically told her to get one that didn't say diary on it. Great. All I need is for some silly idiot to catch me carrying this book around and get the wrong idea. Group A, whose idea was it that Greg should keep a diary? Okay, I'm waiting for the answers. While I'm waiting, I'm getting the next one ready. Now you will see with this one, I'm not going to give them the answers in between. We are going to ask the next group if they agree with their answers. Here she has responded. Just waiting for it to load with a voice note. So then they can reply with a voice note or with typing it. Why is it taking so long? His mom, good job. But there's only one person who answered, but okay, in Indonesia, well done. Group B, do you agree with Group A? Why or why not? So now I'm expecting Group B to respond. And in the meantime, I'm getting the answer ready so long. This is not what I wanted to post. And you do keep an eye on the time. So we've been at this almost for half an hour, but you'll see sometimes it takes a bit longer. Obviously, this is the first time they're doing it. So we need to keep that in mind, but the children will respond faster as they get the hang of things. Okay, Amarain agrees. Rita's typing, so I'm just getting okay. And then I post the answer. Well done to all of you. Yes, his mother or his mom. And if you're using the American spelling, it's spelled M-U-M. So you give a little bit of extra information because this is a language lesson. New class rules. Groups that are not called on will write their answers in their notebooks, just in case they forget. Why does Greg call it a journal and not a diary? Now I'm waiting for the answers. Because it's taking quite slowly, so we might not get very far today with this lesson, but it's okay. Usually you pace it better because you have they are more used to it. Good job. To Group B, do you agree? Okay, Group B is not replying. So I'm going to carry on. Seeing that Group B forgot to answer, I'm saying because he didn't want some silly idiot to catch him carrying this book around and get the wrong idea. So he thinks a journal sounds less girlish. He thinks the word diary will make him look like a girl. A journal is a very similar word to a diary. Group A, why does the writer write specifically in capital letters? And you give them time to think. Wants to emphasize. Well done. Here I'm going to reply and say whoop whoop. Do you agree? Do you agree? Yes, they agree. Is angry, so the author uses capital letters to show. He is angry, so the author uses capital letters to show this, like he's shouting it out loud. And you keep replying with voice notes so that your learners can hear you saying the words correctly. Group C, what does specifically mean? means specific, especially. Group A, do you agree? See how I put in a little praise thing there again? Listen to the next extract. The only reason I agreed to do this at all is because I figured later on, when I'm rich and famous, I'll have better things to do than answer people's stupid questions all day long. So this book is going to come in handy. Like I said, I'll be famous one day. But for now, I'm stuck in middle school with a bunch of morons. And then you have to give them a moment just to listen to that and read. But you can line up the next bit so long. And so this is where you kind of wait for the two ticks, so at least you know they've received it, because it might take a bit longer for them to download it. There's the two ticks, so you know they've received it, and they will then listen to it. So then I can post my next question. Group B, why is Greg writing his diary? And then, of course, she answered before I said 1, 2, 3, go. See, Sipa's answering, so I'm just going to give him. Read there. So you still can answer in the meantime, reply. Great job. Group B, do you agree? Why or why not? I'm sorry, I know it must be boring for those of you who are just observing, but hopefully you're taking note of how you're timing it between the screens. Great job. Edward, thank you from Group B. Okay, so the answer is that. Group C, how old do you think Greg is? Old. Just waiting for a reply here. Middle school, yes. That's correct. Middle school in America, that's called junior high, and the learners are probably between 11 and 14 years old.